let's just kiss and say goodbye.
Of course he was going to step aside. He wasn't going to let her fire him now. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys all being here. Make sure you follow me on all these platforms you see listed right here, if you would, please. I also have another YouTube channel called Man, Husband, Father, another startup YouTube channel called Meme Stream Media Shorts. Appreciate you guys if you follow me on all those platforms. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all saw the video I did earlier with the judge doing exactly what we, when I say we, I'm talking about you and I, the watchers, but not really me, because I had no expectations. But what a lot of people expected the judge to do was to not hold Fani Willis. I keep on calling this woman Fani Wilson. What do you want? Because I have a person that worked for me with that name, seriously. And she hates it right now. Fani Willis was giving the ultimatum, step down or get rid of the black man. You know, like how every black woman is told to do that right now too. You know, in order for us to keep you and give you the benefits and keep giving you grace and keep on not holding you accountable for your actions, you need to get rid of that black man. Yeah, some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. I know some of the people that might not known this. Yeah, that's a real thing. If you keep the black man out of the house, Big Daddy government and father government will continue to accommodate you and incentivize you. Anywho, so this came hours after the judge laid that down. Nathan Wade, a special prosecutor working for Fulton County District Attorney Office, resigned his post after a judge ruled Friday that District Attorney Fani Willis and her office may remain on the 2020 election case involving former President Donald Trump and his allies if Wade stepped aside. What do we expect them to do? But I know a lot of times y'all like a little extra stuff because I'm not like this big old huge news, titan or anything like that. And y'all like to hear from the people that really know this stuff or might have more information than I do. So before you guys check out this video, do me a favor. Click that thumbs up, 5-second rule. Click it. Please, please, please click it. It's imperative that you click it. Appreciate it. Check it out.
Senior correspondent Jonathan Seri is reporting live from Atlanta on this part of this story and also what we're going to hear next from Fani Willis, the DA in Atlanta.
Yeah, the decision is not surprising because the judge really gave Fani Willis probably an unpleasant decision, but an easy decision because if Nathan Wade were to stay on this case as special prosecutor, then the DA, Fani Willis, would have been forced to resign from the case along with her entire staff. They would have had to stand on the sidelines. And so in order for this case to best move forward, clearly the DA's office made the calculation that losing this one special prosecutor, Nathan Wade, would be less damaging than disqualifying the entire office and then having the prosecuting attorneys council appoint a totally new slate of prosecutors to come in from outside and handle this case. So not a surprising development, but a dramatic development. Nathan Wade turning in his resignation from the case and the DA's office accepting that resignation.
Yeah, I'm just looking, Jonathan, stand by, at the letter from Nathan J. Wade, Esquire. He writes to DA Willis, the furtherance of the rule of law and democracy is and always has been the North Star of our combined efforts in the prosecution of those who are alleged to have attempted to overthrow the results of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. Our team is dedicated to ensuring that a Fulton County jury in a Fulton County courtroom renders a true and just verdict in this case. He goes on to say, I'm proud of the work. He says, basically, according to the judge's decision, I will resign immediately. I offer my resignation effectively as quickly as possible, I should say. I'm proud of the work that our team has accomplished in investigating, indicting, and litigating this case, seeking justice for the people of Georgia and being part of the effort to ensure the rule of law. And he goes on to say that he's sure that the team will be successful. Ari, your reaction to this news?
Martha, it sickens me to hear him say this is in furtherance of democracy. If this was about democracy, the Democrats wouldn't use the courts to indict Donald Trump. They'd go to November and let the American people decide. That's what a democracy would do. But in America's bluest counties, Fulton County, Georgia, New York County, which is Manhattan in New York City, the bluest of bluest counties where the bluest of bluest prosecutors, who will never lose a re-election unless it's from the left, indict Donald Trump. You'll never see these things brought in a purple county. You would never see them brought in a red county. And it's not because they have an adherence to democracy. In the case of Georgia now with Nathan Wade, it's because the judge ordered him to break up with his girlfriend. The judge ordered his girlfriend to break up with him from a legal point of view. That's why he's stepping down, not in furtherance of democracy. It's because what he did was unsavory, what the DA did was unsavory, and at its most fundamental level, bringing charges against a political opponent is even more unsavory than any of the personal unsavory behavior they engaged in. He wrote that in that letter, and it just rubs me the wrong way. Not about democracy.
You know, Leslie, there was an event that Fani Willis attended at the White House. She claimed that she had no interaction with the vice president who was speaking at that event when she was at the White House. But obviously, there's a lot of discussion from Republican quarters about the coordination that has potentially happened in this concerted effort to go after former President Trump. And we haven't heard from Fani Willis. We have only heard from Nathan Wade at this point. I want to replay, control room if we can, the Andrew Weissman, who was part of the Russia investigation team going after former President Trump. He wants Fani Willis to be gone. He wants to go the whole way and clean the decks of this team, and he thinks that would be the best thing for the prosecution. Let's watch this again from Andrew Weissman earlier today.
The key here is how to go forward, because clearly Wade is off. But I think that this is such a huge body blow, almost a fatal blow to Fani Willis. I think the way forward is she has to voluntarily recuse herself. I don't know that she has it in her, but I think she has to say, I'm going to appoint a chief assistant who's going to oversee this case. She clearly has no credibility with this judge.
That could still happen, Leslie. Nobody of whom I've asked this question thinks that anything in her character points in that direction, but you never know.
I would feel that everybody would kind of say, a day late and a dollar short if that were to happen. And if she were to do that, she should have done this prior, because of, just the embarrassment alone, not just the delays, not just a whole new prosecutorial team that has to be caught up to speed, if you will. I do agree with Ari there that, she should have just appointed, I would have appointed, the toughest person that you can find and the person that's going to be great with this and more apt to win. But one area that I disagree with Ari on is when Ari said it should be left up to the voters in November. It is going to be left up to the voters in November whether Donald Trump will become president again or not. But it should never be left up to the voters to decide whether somebody is guilty or not guilty in a criminal court of law. That has to be done in the court system, in our legal system, and that has to be decided by a jury. But going back, I don't think that she would do that. But I would agree with Andrew there where, if your case is dirtied, if you will, by you and anything that you've done or you've said, better in the interest of democracy, if you will, for you to put the best team in place to win. And if that means you stepping aside, that's what you do. Right?
Well, let me ask Leslie one more question before I go back to Ari. So the New York case, which is the hush money case, that's delayed 30 days because the Department of Justice withheld, according to the other side, information that they didn't bring out in discovery. So that you got a problem there. You've got the question of immunity on the January 6th case and the documents cases. So those are also running into issues and waiting for the Supreme Court. And you've got this Georgia case. Are you concerned, Leslie, that these efforts, which have been so fulsome, might be coming apart?
No, and let me tell you why. And I know my second thing, but you guys know I'm just honest. I'm not like everybody thinks, oh, Leslie, I get on Twitter. She has the Democratic talking points. Yeah, this is what I have. I have no Democratic talking points. I have truth, and this is my truth. I don't think, even if he is found guilty of all of these, he is going to spend 1 second in jail. And if the goal is, and it's not going to keep him off the ballot. It's not going to keep people from voting for him. It's actually done quite the opposite. And many others predicted that. And, he could, again, be president. So what are you doing this for? Your democracy would have to do with politics, right? What are you doing this for? If you're doing it for legal reasons. It's like impeachment. It drives me crazy. If you know you're not going to remove the guy from office, and I'm talking Democrat or Republican, maybe it is a waste of taxpayer time and money. So with this, you got to follow it through. You got to go with the letter of the law. But I have never been, a huge cheerleader of these, simply because, my question is, A, what is your goal? And B, are you even going to reach it? And if the goal is to have Donald Trump be wearing an orange jumpsuit, they're not going to reach that goal, in my humble opinion.
So y'all seen all that, right? You saw that, right? Now, here's the interesting part after all that. I don't know if they, we can read this a little slower. I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Right here, the district attorney may choose to step aside along with the whole of her office and refer the prosecution to the prosecuting attorney's counsel for reassignment. This is what the judge wrote in his 23-page decision. Then he said, alternatively, Wade can withdraw, allowing the district attorney, the defendants, and the public to move forward without his presence or remuneration, distracting from the potentially compromising and merits of the case. He's the distraction. I thought he was the one that got hired on to go after him. Now he's the distraction. How dare you, Mr. Black Ding-a-ling King, flame that thing out so she can jump on it? How dare you do that? You caused that woman to fall. Y'all even understand the magnitude of this? Some of y'all, I know y'all don't, because see, if you're not a part of this so-called thing that a lot of black people are fighting for, which is community and all this stuff like that, this is the type of stuff that pisses a lot of us off. He gets the bad end of this stick. You tell me both of them can commit a crime, but only it's literally right there playing out before a lot of people's face. And this is why I tell people, I do believe that a lot of the stuff that plays out in front of us is legit right there. You are giving people who already feel that this whole world that we live in when I mean, not say world, but in the United States, they feel that there's systemic racism because of stuff like this. Well, no, not really, Todd, because she a black woman. No, we talking about against the black man. How in the world is she hired Nathan Wade, who had no experience in this, to go after Trump? She hired him on. She even the one that said the reason why this on being pointed out, because look who they pointing out. They only pointing out the black man. Look at that. And look. And then me being a black woman, look what they did to us. But the rest of my staff, brilliant people, they not saying nothing about them. Why is that? Because none of the rest of my staff are black. Only me and Nathan are black. And look what they doing. So the judge turns around and pretty much scolds her for saying, how dare you try to play the race card, but then you told them you want to get rid of the brother. If you want to stay on this case, get rid of that brother. Same exact thing they do to people in the black community. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. You know it's the truth. Get rid of that black man out of there, and I got you. Continue on. You won't be held accountable for what you did. Well, Ty, it's not her fault because it takes two to tangle. No, it does not. Look, it takes two to tangle once the tangling happened, but it takes for somebody to accept the dance. Y'all want me to say it again? It only takes two to tangle while the tangling is going on. But it only takes one person to accept the dance. She accepted the dance. What are you talking about, Ty? The only way he can have sex with her is if she received that. If she opened her legs. She could have not did it. Well, he could have not too. Y'all missing the point. You women have something called a vagina. That's the doorway. You have to open the door, allowing for somebody to come in there. He ain't taking it. So both of them should be held responsible for this because they both tangled, right? So what are you saying, Ty? If he should be thrown off, so should she. And the reason why I'm saying all that is because this is what they do. And this the picture, and this is the message that a lot of them, just being real with y'all. This is a message that a lot of people in the black community is going to be frustrated with, especially men, because they sit there and they look at this. And I know I said in my last video, but they do not hold women accountable for their actions. And this is her action because she allowed it to happen, knowing that this man was married. And also the fact that she tried to come after and intimidate the man's wife. There it is. But I'm just being real. Y'all know I told y'all, to the ones y'all keep on thinking that I'm always hating on black people. Do y'all see now that I tell y'all, I see through the BS. I understand when it comes to some things. And this is one of the cases where, yeah, it appears that, nope, she won't be held accountable for this. Anyway, Wade said in his letter to Willis, with whom he had a romantic relationship with while serving as special prosecutor, that he was stepping down in the interest of democracy and dedication to the American public and to move this case forward as quickly as possible. Had nothing to do with the fact that I smashed you or I lied in court. Had nothing to do with any of that. Had nothing to do with us taking these lavish trips and you paying me cash so there would be no paper trail. Had nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with he's moving democracy forward. Who wrote that for him? Based off how that man was talking in court, he did not say that. They asked him a question. He didn't write that. Let me stop playing. I'm throwing shots. I'm just playing Nathan Wade. I'm messing with your brother. Black power. Yeah. Anyway, the district attorney accepted his resignation and in her own letter to Wade, praised him for his professionalism and dignity. I bet he was professional. I bet he was professional and gave you that dignity. Willis lauded Wade's patriotism, courage, and dedication to justice in the face of threats against him and his family. You were the threat. Anyway, you intimidated the wife. Anyway, y'all, I'm not going to go no further in this. I just wanted to update y'all on this whole deal right here. We know it's going to be a whole lot of back and forth things going on this, and it's going to just get even more heated up. And honestly, I cannot wait to see what this all is going to hold. But she do got to go and face Jim Jordan in the Congress on this particular matter too. So we're going to see how that's all going to turn out. Which again, y'all, I think the cards are being shown. Y'all, they showing y'all being seen. Y'all are being shown who runs this. That's why it has nothing to do with this physicality that y'all see. It has everything to do with the spirits that are operating behind the ones y'all see as being physical. There's an evil spirit behind this, and this running this, and y'all can see it playing out right before our eyes. And you think it's all because these are regular humans and regular men and regular women. No, these people are working with evil entities, folks. And you need to ask yourself, which one are you working with? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button for me. I think I already asked y'all to do that, and y'all probably did already, right? But if you forgot, do it anyway right now. Do it now. Get into those cell phones. Let somebody know about this channel. I really appreciate it if you do that as well. Go into your cell phone, contact list. Somebody that you did not tell about this channel, let them know about this channel. Matter of fact, you should let them know again anyway. If they say, hey, you already told me that, cool. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.